This video is on Tariq St. Patrick and how I believe he's about to make the same colossal mistake that his father Ghost once made. The same fatal mistake that led Tariq to hating his father, to eventually wanting to kill him and take him out. And that mistake is breaking up their family, destroying everything. And how is Tariq about to make that mistake? This is all based off my prediction and the choice that Tariq will soon have to make. The choice between Lauren and Diana. And it's my belief and my prediction that that choice will be infinitely harder once it's revealed in a prediction that Diana is pregnant. Now, that's a lot to get out the way in the intro already. And like I said, this whole video is based off a prediction that Diana is pregnant. Now, why do I have this prediction? We all obviously see the parallels of these characters to the former characters. And what I mean by that is Lauren is obviously Tariq's Angela. She doesn't have nothing to do with the life. She's a normal girl. He sees good in her. She has nothing to do with the business. Lauren is Tariq's Angela. And people say Effie is Tasha, but I believe Diana is the Tasha in the situation, and we'll dive into that as well. And I do want to take a break to say on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, I usually drop other content on other movies, TV shows, characters, so on and so forth. But this power is coming to the end. These are our biggest episodes. I want to make videos on predictions, clues, and stuff, kind of like this one. So for the next 2-3 weeks, it's going to be power videos to the season end, and then I'll drop more longer form content on different videos. I got some crazy stuff coming soon, so be on the lookout for that. Make sure you guys leave a like, comment, subscribe, and let's jump into Tariq and his possible fatal mistake. So at the current status with the way he feels about Lauren and Diana, I think it's a no-brainer he chooses Lauren. That's who he initially wanted to be with. That's who he seems to care about the most. All fingers point towards him being with Lauren. But I think the choice would be infinitely harder if the writers were to implement Diana getting pregnant. We did see in episode 6, The Land of Lies, I believe, that Tariq and Diana slept together, and she also slept with Salene. I stated after that episode that this was going to lead to her being pregnant, and I think the baby would be for Tariq. Now, why is this important? Like I said, it not only makes the decision between Lauren and Diana infinitely harder, it makes the decision of Lauren wanting to be with him harder. It makes the choice of Effie being with Kane just that much more interesting to her. And it also makes the choice for Tariq crazy because he hates his father for breaking up his family. He acts as if he doesn't understand anything Ghost did in his life, that everything Ghost ever did was wrong. And if he's put in a situation where he's about to have a kid, he's about to have a baby, but he wants to be with someone else, will his hate for his father and his decision to he really wants a family, that's the thing Tariq wants the most, would that push him towards being with Diana, or would true love, who he really wants to be with, what he has his sights on from the very beginning, will he still choose Lauren? Let's dive into both sides of this debate. Let's get into it. Now, first, we're going to obviously dive into Tariq and Lauren and Ghost and Angela, as those the easiest parallels to make, and the Diana Tasha one is the one I want to emphasize, so I'll put that in the second half of the video so you guys could get my point. But Tariq and Lauren, Ghost and Angela, it's so easy to see the parallels between these characters. Angela and Lauren are obviously the good sides of these characters. They want to shield them, protect them. They're the bright sides of them. They're still the good that's in Tariq, that's in Ghost, that's in James St. Patrick. They see in these other girls and characters. And it's obvious that Angela and Lauren are just keen to normally doing the right thing. Angela obviously being a DA, a lawyer, trying to take down bad guys. And even Lauren working with the feds, take them down, because she's just a regular civilian. She's just a normal good person. But even in those key details, with Angela finding out who Ghost was, still wanted to protect him, keep him safe, not take him down. And it's the same with Lauren, as we've seen in these last few episodes. She obviously loves Tariq. She feels bad about his prior life, what he has to do, and she just doesn't want to take him down. She chose to believe him. She finally trusts him again. And it's obvious that their feelings for each other would cause problems to her being a regular civilian, just like it did with Angela. She eventually just couldn't be a regular civilian. Now, the circumstances are obviously different in that Ghost met Angela when they were kids. They were in high school. They lost touch and then they ran into each other again many years later. And that was always his first love and his true love in life. While Tariq didn't meet Lauren into college, they both still fell in love with the innocence of that person, and that's kind of their relief in a way where they don't have to focus on the killing that they do or the drugs or on money or scheming or doing this. They could just focus on being with that person, and I think that's what attracts them to that person most of all. Now, the obvious problem with both of these relationships is their inability for Tariq and James to separate their past lives or their former drug lives for who they want to be for Lauren or Angela. And we seen in both of their cases where those lives obviously got in the way of them being with this person, where Ghost had conflicts with Tasha and Angela. Eventually, Tommy killed Angela, and the same with Tariq, where he almost lost Lauren because of the life he lived. So those are always the possibilities for him choosing to be with Lauren, and he knows those possibilities could always happen, especially because it hasn't even been revealed yet to Kane, Braden, Effie, Monet, Diana, any of them that Lauren is still alive. We don't know how they'll react, what they'll do, and all those things are still on the table for her to be taken out, just like Tommy took out Angela, even with Angela doing all she can to save them, saying she wasn't going to testify. Lauren could say the same thing, but we saw Angela inevitably met her in trying to play both sides in the life of Ghost, just as Lauren is doing. She wants to do the right thing, but her feelings won't let her. And this is important because this could be a reason that Tariq doesn't choose to be with Lauren, even if the Diana pregnancy prediction doesn't ever happen. This could be a reason he chose, like, he just wants her to be safe, free, nothing to deal with this. He wants to be out of her life because he already said it. Wherever he goes, death follow. He loses family. Everyone around him is gone. Lost his sister, killed his own dad, sent Tommy out of town. He had to send away Tasha. He had to send away Yaz. And now in the other episode, he just had to send away his grandma. So he literally has no family and no one around him, especially because he just found out about Effie and Braden's betrayal. So he literally has no one in his corner, and he could feel that if he was to be with Lauren, he would be putting her in harm's way, just like Ghost did with Angela. And if you think about it from that perspective, this could lead him to choosing Diana as well. But as we seen with Ghost, these St. Patrick boys are easily blinded by love. We literally saw with Tariq in these last two episodes. Since he found out Lauren was alive, all his attention has been put to helping Lauren, trying to get her back on his side, trying to find a way to beat this charge in case they're building against him. All his focus has been on Lauren, rightfully so, with the situation that's happening. But it's the same with Ghost. We saw him literally seasons 1 through when Angela died, around 5, I believe. We saw him all those seasons. His focus on Angela and improving himself to be the right person for Angela. Finally trying to leave that life for Angela. And that's the steps Tariq could take as well. We saw him talk with Effie about leaving a life, about moving away to California, anywhere else, and just living a normal life. If he could do that for Effie, he's bound to feel like he could do that for Lauren as well, to escape from all this, to get from under Noma, to Tejadas, just get away from everything. And if you do that for Effie, like I said, he definitely do that for Lauren. But like I said, him being with her is a big risk, just like it was for Ghost. And this could ultimately lead to his decision not to choose her, to be with Diana, be by himself, be with someone else. Because like I said, anyone who's always around him is in harm's way, just like it was for Ghost. So that pretty much sums up the Tariq, Lauren, Ghost, Angela sides of things. They love these people because of their purity. They see the good in them. They're regular civilians. They don't have ties to the lives that Ghost and Tariq chose to live. But by being with them, they also put them in harm's way. And we saw that with Angela, like I said, eventually being killed by Tommy. And Tariq could see this as a problem, and just like he tried to do prior and send Lauren away, he could choose to be with her, or he could choose to be someone else. all these decisions will unfold based on his mindset and his perspective of how his life has already went. Everyone close to him either lies, dies, or has to be sent away. They're gone. Basically, no one can be close to him, and this could inevitably affect his decision to choose Lauren. But now let's dive into the Diana Tasha comparison, because that's where things really get interesting. Now, the thing with Diana and Tasha, and I was arguing with people on TikTok about this because they was trying to compare Effie to Tasha, and I clearly think it's more Diana. Now, the main difference is obviously Diana was always in this life because of who her family was, etc. And Tasha didn't get into this life until she met Ghost. But they both never wanted anything to do with it. They wanted to go to college, be a regular person, but they got tied up into it. And people were trying to say Effie is like that, but Effie kind of did this out of necessity. And yeah, while she says she wants to get out, she has a number in mind that she wants to get to and then leave the game, etc. Now, the key that I think Diana is more so Tasha is the way that Ghost used to go to Tasha out of he could actually vent to her, give her this information. She's in tune to everything. I feel like that's who Diana is for Tariq. We've seen multiple times they had heart-to-heart talks and conversations with just them two laying out on the line, being brutally honest, because they're both experience both lives of being normal, regular people, civilians. That's what they want. And they also experience being in the game. So they connect more in that way. And both of them, Ghost and Tariq, both do it when they go back to that other person when they're having problems with their current relationship, or they just feel the need to vent, or they could trust this person with information. There's countless times where Ghost and Tasha exchanged information that he couldn't tell Angela. The same with Tariq exchanging information with Diana that he couldn't tell Lauren. And while people always try to say Effie is in the Tasha role, like I said, Effie was always made for this. Tasha was kind of molded into who she was, and the same with Diana. We don't really know much of Effie's backstory. We get a little bit here and there, and maybe if more was to come from it and we learn more, I could see her being Tasha. But right now, no, especially with her being pushed towards being with Kane, she's definitely not the Tasha in this situation. And with my pregnancy prediction, if that comes true, it definitely will be Diana. But now let's jump into that part, because I'm pretty sure that's the part you guys are most intrigued to talk about. So let's get into that part. Now, I pointed out countless times we've seen Diana sleep with Salim, sleep with Tariq in the same episode. And they chose to keep Lauren alive for a reason. The same keeping Effie alive for a reason, Diana alive for a reason. I think it makes the most sense that one of them get pregnant. Now, with him not being with Effie anymore and him and Lauren in this kind of standoff situation, it makes the most sense for it to be Diana, especially because Diana has the most ties with the ties with all the other characters in the story. And also, it makes more sense because we just seen in the last episode Diana get arrested. If it comes to fruition that she is pregnant, this could be used as leverage to get her to flip, turn on Monet, anybody else, because I do think she's the most likely one to turn. So her getting arrested was the most important piece to all this, and was the most interesting thing they could have did to make the story continue and make it feel like there's actually some suspense of what she could say, what could happen to the rest of the characters. Now, why is her getting pregnant important? Now, let me point this out, because once again, I was arguing with people in TikTok comments about this. They're saying this is not a soap opera. Why girls always got to get pregnant? They're tired of seeing this, blah, 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 blah. First off, Power never did this storyline. I don't ever remember anybody being pregnant in Power, except Holly. I actually do remember Holly being pregnant for Tommy, but he never found out until it was too late, etc. But why this is important for Diana and Tariq is because we seen in literally 2-3 episodes ago, the thing Tariq values the most is family. That's what he wants. That's what he wrote on the paper in his class. That's the reason he hates and despises Ghost. He feel he tore apart their family to be with Angela. So why is this important with Diana? Because if she was to be pregnant and she was to have the baby, it was to be Tariq. would his choice still be to choose Lauren? Because like I said, he values family first and foremost, but will he finally be able to see Ghost's perspective? The way he's been dodging and ducking from trying to see Ghost has always been in the wrong, never done anything right. Will he finally be able to understand a different side of his own father? And I think Diana is the most important character to do it with, because she relates so much to Tasha, to his mom, to him wanting to be a family, wanting to be out the life, just like Ghost wanted to be with Angela, Tariq and Diana, Tariq and Lauren. So I feel like Diana being pregnant, like I said, if she doesn't get pregnant, his decision isn't really hard. He's not fucking with Effie no more. We see in the trailer he's about to set her up, and Kane gets mad about that because Kane obviously likes Effie. And if Diana doesn't get pregnant, I think the choice is obviously gonna be him wanting to be with Lauren. It's always been Lauren from the beginning, just like it was Ghost and Angela from the beginning. But this baby or this pregnancy, if they were to do this, it creates so much intrigue into Tariq's mindset, perspective, and how he views his own father and what decision would he actually make. But if she doesn't, I feel like the stakes aren't that high and it's just obvious who he will choose. Like, they obviously kept Lauren alive for a reason. I predicted that. I'm pretty sure most people predicted that. Well, this is power. They showed deaths in this show. They didn't show hers. It was, I wouldn't say obvious, but if you predicted that, it was easier to believe as other things. But the thing about that is they're going to keep her alive. It couldn't have been just for this reason or this season of her almost testifying and not going through with it, because then what would be used for her character further than this season? Once she doesn't testify, Tariq finds a way to get off the hook, she goes back to her regular life. That doesn't really make sense. I feel like Diana getting pregnant also pressures Lauren to decide if she wants to be with Tariq, because one, he almost got her killed, almost got Effie braiding in them to take her out. He almost got her killed. She had to wear a wire for the feds. He got her shipped off into Witsack. She been hiding. Her parents don't know she's alive. He basically uprooted her whole life, but she does have feelings for him. If she's still in love with him, she can possibly find a way to be with him. But if Diana is pregnant also, she could also reevaluate that, and everything is different, because we saw how she reacted when she felt like he moved on to Effie right after she died. Now he has someone else pregnant and he wants to be with her. I think that makes the whole stakes higher, especially with Diana being locked up right now in jail, how that will work out if she's pregnant, with the Lauren situation. And it just all plays into who Ghost was and his two main relationships with Tasha and Angela. And I'm sincerely hoping they go with this angle, because if not, then they wasted time with the Salim character having Diana sleep with him and Tariq in the same episode. I felt like that had to be set up for something. So they wasted a whole season with him. Then Lauren staying alive, they wasted that because it doesn't seem nothing is going to really come from it, especially if Tariq get him and her out the situation. Who knows, Effie Kane and them might try to kill her again. Anything is possible, but if it doesn't create a bigger problem of him having to choose, because Lauren was always the front runner, and if nothing else is placed into the situation to make the decision meaningful, then like it's just Lauren all the way. So I'm interested to see what they do, and I want you guys to leave comments down below and let me know what you think about all of this. Also, I have something big to talk about with Diana as well, because like we said, we seen her get arrested in the last episode, and I had a subscriber say in my comments that Tariq was the one who gave Diana the codes to the locker. So say she doesn't even get pregnant, she could still feel Tariq set her up, especially if, I'm pretty sure the feds are going to show her the picture of her with the drug. She's going to remember Tariq gave her the locker codes. He was the one who basically sent her up there. And then if they was to reveal to her that Lauren is alive, she could completely believe that Tariq set her up. If you add her being pregnant on top of this, that would just be crazy and so much going on at once. Now, in this last part of this video, I want to talk about Tariq and Ghost. And I want to point this out because I literally pointed out their relationship comparisons, but I want to point out their comparisons as actual people because everyone seems to realize Tariq is just like Ghost more than Tariq even realizes. Everyone tells him he's just like Ghost. He's just a model, just like him. Literally, his grandma told him that. Sax talks about it. Everyone sees it. Everyone but him, apparently. And the relationships point towards that. So I was going to make a whole video separate about talking about Tariq being like Ghost and how he has to accept a new moniker, Ghost, become the new Ghost, so he can move smart, make all the right decisions how Ghost used to do. But Tariq despises his father so much that he can't admit that to himself. He doesn't want to be nothing like him, even though he's exactly like him. And like I said, I was gonna make a whole separate video about this, but I wanted to throw it in this one because, like I said, Tariq's main goal is family. He wants to get back Tasha, to Yasmin, to his grandma. He lost Raina, took out his dad, lost his Uncle Tommy, lost Sean, he lost Kane, and literally he lost everybody around him. Thought he lost Lauren, been betrayed by Effie, Braden, etc. So that's why I wanted to make the video and put this at the end, but talk about Diana getting pregnant because that would give him the family he wants. But is that the ultimate decision that makes him choose to be with Diana or choose to be with Lauren? Because he would then understand Ghost's decision wasn't as easy as he thought it would be. So I pretty much think majority of this should happen in the season finale, or at the very least, Diana should find out she's pregnant around episode 9. By then, I expect episode 10, I expect Lauren and Tariq to find a way to get out of this RICO, to clear their names, and she be free. And in that decision of them deciding to be together, maybe they almost kiss, anything like that, Diana walk in, she reveals her pregnancy. This leaves something to be desired going into season 4. It leaves a lot to be desired, a lot to be wondered about, just so much going on. Because other than that, a lot of pieces are getting moved off the board. They took out the Costello brother, they took out Lorenzo, they took out Kai. They also, I believe, Sax won't be here much longer after Tariq just found out that he's working with the feds. So in a season finale, I'm expecting something to leave viewers waiting for that next season, and I think this is the key detail. And I think the season 4 should be about Tariq finally accepting he is like his father, take the moniker Ghost, become the new Ghost, and run with it. And his decision between Lauren and Diana, the same with Ghost's decision between Tasha and Angela, could change and shape the way every other character reacts to who he is and what he does. Because we know Kane, Monet, and them won't feel too kindly about him if he chooses to be with Lauren, especially knowing she's a snitch, she wore a wire, etc. And if he does choose Diana, how will Lauren feel? How would Effie feel? How would anybody else feel about this, especially them having a baby? How would they even react to that scenario? So I think this is the best thing they could do going forward, and time for Tariq to step up and be the new Ghost. Will he make the same fatal mistake his dad did? I hope they go this route, and I hope we find out soon. But that's it for this video. As usual, leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I'm out.